Okay, welcome to the exam hackathon. Let's boot up and jump straight into it. Today, we are targeting the mainframe, the Afrikaans Language Component 1 speaking test for the Cambridge AS level. If you're prepping for this, you already know that just having fluent Afrikaans vocabulary, that's only half the battle. Think of this test as a complex algorithm. Today, we're acting as your lead dev to show you exactly how Cambridge examiners want you to structure, time, and verbally execute your responses to unlock those top marks.
So, why do so many candidates totally crash the system here? Year after year, examiners report that structure and timing is the ultimate firewall. The bug isn't usually a lack of vocabulary. Instead, students crash because they miss the specific cognitive demands and the precise terminology the examiners are scanning for. It's like a coder we'll call Dev Alex. Dev Alex is excellent at raw data inputs, speaks great Afrikaans, but causes massive memory leaks because of poor analysis and zero structure. There is a huge disconnect between knowing the language and actually displaying that knowledge within Cambridge's strict framework. Our goal today is to debug that exact issue.
Here is our command matrix for this session. 1. Core test principles. 2. The technical methodology. And 3. Evaluation and examiner insights.
Let's initialize Section 1, Core Test Principles.
Cambridge targets three very distinct cognitive domains, basically three tiers of data processing. First up is knowledge and understanding. This is your baseline factual grasp, your raw input. Second is analysis. That's your ability to extract data from the prompt and interpret the relationships. And third, the highest tier, is evaluation. This is where you assess evidence, run alternatives, and form justified conclusions. The syllabus is super clear here. Top-tier candidates don't just memorize vocabulary dictionaries. They show connected, conceptual understanding across all three of these domains in their verbal delivery. You have to clear all three to pass the firewall.
Now here is a concept you literally must hard-code into your brain, the method mark strategy. Cambridge awards marks for the analytical process, not just the final output. In Component 1, you earn points by verbally demonstrating your step-by-step reasoning. Examiners want to hear you extract the data, process it logically, and build your conclusions out loud. If you just jump straight to the final answer without vocalizing the procedural loops that got you there, you are leaving massive points on the table. You have to speak your process.
Moving on to Section 2, the technical methodology. Okay, before we push this final patch to secure maximum marks, optimize your system feed. Subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams right now and turn on all notifications for weekly system updates. Seriously, lock that in. All right, back to the code. To tackle complex stimulus material during your prep time, use this foolproof 5-step pseudocode. 1. Deconstruct the question. 2. Extract the relevant data. 3. Select your analytical framework. 4. Execute with clear notation on your scratch paper. And 5. Present it verbally using the correct terminology. Treat every single prompt like a strict procedural checklist. It completely eliminates panic and ensures you hit every assessment objective without skipping a beat.
We also need to talk about syntax precision. Examiners are actively scanning for professional presentation conventions. In a speaking test, this translates to how cleanly you structure your prep notes. This is where a lot of students turn into DevSam. They have great logical loops, but totally fail the syntax rules. You need proper headings and clear annotations on your scratch paper so your actual verbal presentation follows a strict logical sequence. A brilliant insight lost in a messy, unstructured ramble just won't compile. It won't score well.
Let's boot up our final section, Section 3, Evaluation and Examiner Insights. To achieve those elite top percentile scores, you need to run the ultimate problem-solving framework. Deconstruct, solve, evaluate. Think of it as your core operating system for this exam. When you get a scenario, first deconstruct it. Break the given information into logical steps. Then solve it systematically. But the real magic, the absolute highest scoring function, is that final step, evaluate. You must check your conclusions for reasonableness and justify every single recommendation. This is the exact architecture designed to handle the highest tariff assessment objectives.
Welcome to the interactive beta testing arena. Let's run a quick audit on how you naturally answer questions. Are you using a descriptive approach or an evaluative one? A basic descriptive answer just prints out what's already there. It merely outlines the facts. An evaluative approach actively justifies recommendations, identifies limitations in the data, flags assumptions, and tests how alternative interpretations might change the final conclusion. If you're in the test and you catch yourself just describing the stimulus out loud, hit pause. Pivot instantly to evaluating it. That's where the maximum marks are hidden. Time for a code review. I want you to pay close attention to this massive examiner alert straight from the mainframe. The principal examiner report says, candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. This is a huge warning. Do not assume the examiner knows what variable you're referencing. Define your terms clearly right out of the gate to prove your exact knowledge and understanding.
Building on that, here are the top 3 syntax errors that will absolutely crash your grade, straight from the examiners. Number 1, confusing cause and effect. You have to be hyper-precise about what is triggering an event versus what is the result. Number 2, forgetting your verbal formatting and presentation structure, which we just debugged. And number 3, which happens constantly, running generic code, providing answers that are not specific to the given context. Your response cannot be a memorized, copy-pasted essay. It has to directly execute against the specific scenario provided.
So how do you keep this whole complex matrix running under the intense pressure of a live speaking test? You need a cheat sheet architecture. Use a memory hack. Create a custom mnemonic using the first letters of your key terminology. Maybe build one for the deconstruct, solve, evaluate loop, or for your 5-step prep sequence. Having a simple acronym locked in your brain helps you automatically pull the right words and the right procedural steps when that exam clock is ticking down.
Which leaves us with the final deployment test. When you sit down for that Afrikaans Component 1 test, are you going to just describe the paper, or are you going to run the full evaluative algorithm? Practice the procedural framework, not just the vocabulary. Next time you run a past paper, ask yourself, am I showing my work out loud? Master that, and you master Component 1. All right, team, that's a successful compile. Subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams, smash that notification bell for more system updates, and leave a comment below with your subject and level so we know what mainframe to target next.